Hello friends, welcome to my new Bootstrap 3 tutorial series video. Friends, in this tutorial we will discuss about how Bootstrap helps us in styling our code blocks. So if I go to my Sublime text editor, after providing bootstrap min.css and bootstrap min.js file, I will start demonstrating how Bootstrap help us in styling our code blocks. So friends, Bootstrap provides tags to support the styling of code blocks. So let's see the demonstration. First I will create a BR, then I will create a div, and to this div I will provide a class of container, and inside this container I will create a row. So the class would be row. Inside this row I will create a large column of 6 grid width, and inside this column I will create a well. So div class, I will just copy this. So friends, if you are going to display code inline, then we can use code tag provided by Bootstrap. First I give heading as h4, say inline code, and let's say I create a paragraph, and inside this paragraph I provide a text as say HTML5 has a support for. Now suppose I want to display that HTML5 has a support for header element, so I need to display something like this. If I save it and I open it in the browser, you can see it comes up with something like this. So in order to display this header element here, what we can do is like we can first of all we can create a tag as code, and inside this code we can provide something like this. But there is still a problem. So if I go to browser, you can see nothing has changed. If I reload the page, you can see nothing has been changed because the HTML is treating this as a header tag. So here we need to escape this angle brackets. So in order to escape this angle bracket, we can use something like ampersand lt semicolon, and for greater than angle bracket we can use ampersand gt semicolon. So lt stands for less than and gt stands for greater than. So now if I save it and go to browser, so you can see that code tag is used to display the inline codes. And similarly if I go to the editor back, I can also write something, say I can also write say Java 8 has a support for. I can remove this and say lambda expressions. Now if I go to browser, you can see we can also use the code tag for to highlight something to the user. So moving ahead, now what I will do, I will just copy this and paste it below, and I will just remove this thing. So now what we will see, we'll see how we can style the user inputs from the keyboard. Say user inputs from code. Now if we want to display some information to the user that we need to press something on the keyboard, we can display it by providing kbd tag. First I'll create a paragraph. Now here what I can do is I can write say, now suppose if I want to tell user that press Ctrl S to save a file, so what I can do is like I can do Ctrl S to save a file. Now if I go to the browser, you can see it looks something like this. So if I want to highlight something this type of code, so what I can do is I can just use the kbd tag and I can paste this whole code inside that. So if I save and go to browser, you can see that I have styled this using kbd tag. We can also do something like, say, if I copy this, say control C, say to copy, and control V to paste. And if I save it and go to the browser, you can see that it should come something like this, that press control C to copy and press control V to paste. So moving ahead, Bootstrap also provides support for if we want to display something in the form of variables. So I will just copy this and I can change the heading to say variables. I will just remove this. So friends, now suppose I want to display something like this, y equals mx plus b on the browser. So what we can do is like we can use var tag. So something like var, I can use something say y equals again var, I can type mx plus again a var b. I will just comment this, and if I save it and go to browser, you can see that we can even style the variables. Moving ahead, I will again copy this well. Now suppose if you want to display an output from a program, so we can use a samp tag. So I will give a heading as say sample output. I will remove this and I will even remove this. So first I will show you how it looks in a paragraph. So I will just create a paragraph and I will say this is my output, and the same I will be showing it in the say using a samp tag. So samp tag, I will just paste it and I will remove this paragraph. If I save it and go to the browser, so you can see the difference between the two text. So moving ahead, so friends, one last thing remains is styling the multiple lines of code. So previously we saw that how we can use the code tag to style the inline text. Now suppose we want to style multiple lines, so what we can do is, so there is a tag by name pre. So suppose if I want to display something like this div, and inside this div I say h4. Now suppose I want to display all these three lines together on the browser. So what I can do is I can use the pre tag. So if I say like pre, so inside this pre, first I will escape the angle brackets. So I will do something like ampersand lt semicolon, then I will say div, will put ampersand gt semicolon, and I will just copy this, paste, and I will just close it like this. And inside this I will create an h4 tag with a hello world text. So I will just copy this h4 hello world, and then I will just end it, and I will also provide a heading to it as give a text as basic block. So if I go to the browser, so you can see how using pre tag we can style the code in the multiple lines, but you can also see that there is some space, empty space here. So if we go to our HTML file, we can see that just after pre tag there is a lot of white space here. So the whatever you code inside this pre tag, it will take that also. So in order to avoid this, what we can do is we can do something like, so we have now removed this white spaces. So if I now save it and go to the browser, so you can see the white space has gone. Pre tag is also used to display something, a huge source code. So going back to editor, now what I can do is like, say I will again create a pre tag, and inside this pre tag what I will do, I will just place a, say, source code of a Java file. So if I just paste it, so you can see this is a Java program. So if I paste it like this and if I save it and go to the browser, you can see that the source code is displayed inside this pre tag. So suppose if I want to make this block a scrollable block, what I can do is I can just in the pre, I will provide a class of, say, pre dash scrollable. So I provided a class of pre scrollable, and if I save it and go to the browser, you can see a scroll bar appears. So friends, this was all about the code blocks. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe my YouTube channel. You can also visit my blog. The link is given in the description. Thanks. Have a nice day.